How's it going, Yankee fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Garcia, coming off a big win against the Toronto Blue Jays. Series finale just snuck by thanks to an Andrew Benintendi two-run homer in the bottom of the seventh inning and a great performance from Nestor Cortez. Really just a great performance from Nestor Cortez. He really powered this one through and gave the Yankees a really good opportunity to win this game. And finally, they managed to escape with a win. At least giving them a little bit more cushion in the AL East before a big two-game series against the New York Mets with Max Scherzer on the mound tomorrow. And then you got Jacob deGrom on Tuesday before a four-game series against the Oakland Athletics. So if we could win one of those games against the Mets, two of the best pitchers in baseball, that would be a big one for the Yankees. But, they are still struggling offensively. That Benintendi homers first as a Yankee was a big one. But I really wanted to discuss, why the Yankees played Oswaldo Cabrera at shortstop today. He has 3 hits in 5 games. Still getting used to the MLB level and the pitch quality. Manoah really had his number today. He was striking him out with ease. But he has made some good contact. He has showed some solid capabilities, taking some pitches, looking like a pro. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time for him to really make an impact offensively in a consistent manner. But defensively, he's been an absolute stud. And I want to discuss why, the Yankees may consider just playing him for that reason alone. He is a positive impact on this team. He can play third base, play shortstop, play right field. He made an unbelievable play yesterday in right field, stealing a homer away. And then today had some great plays at shortstop. He looked fantastic, Jeter-esque. And then yesterday at third had that play was running into the stands almost. He has been absolutely electric for this team defensively, and I think that his presence has made them better, even if the offense still isn't quite there yet. But Ryan, I want to get your impression on today's game, your impression of Oswaldo Cabrera so far, and why you think he could be stealing some reps from IKF, because I think at this point they may be considering doing just that.
Yeah, so at shortstop, the arm looks a lot better than what I'm getting from IKF, and the range is similar. Obviously, I would like to have a larger sample to look at Oswaldo Cabrera as a defender. I'm not going to sit here and claim he's obviously going to be a better defender than IKF, but from the first few games we've seen him at shortstop and him on the field, not just at shortstop, we've seen him in right field, at third base. He looks calm, composed. He bobbled the ball with bases loaded, by the way, in the middle of the lineup coming up. After Vlad, it was the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, and you're like, he doesn't make that play, and the Yankees probably lose this game. God knows what happens after that inning. And he collects himself. He makes the throw, the jump throw in the 9th inning. That was sick. I look at this guy and he's not hitting right now, right? He has really struggled, especially against changeups, but I think that's something that he's going to be able to fix over time. This is a guy who absolutely crushed AAA. He didn't have these chase issues at AAA. He's a rookie, as you mentioned. This is a guy in his first few games not looking great. That happens. If you can get him to collect, we've seen his swing. We've seen him when he does make contact with the ball, he crushes the ball. I like what Cabrera gives you. I think that the versatility allows you to give different guys days off. And, against Manoah today, I think having so many lefties was important. They got him out of the game early. They didn't let him cruise through the game. He gave up those 2 runs, and that's really what the Yankees needed. The Yankees needed to keep him not shutting them down for 7+ innings. Then they got to the bullpen, and Benintendi goes yard, and that changes the game for the Yankees. The Yankees go on to win that one. If they let Manoah cruise and he gives them 7-8 innings, which he can do, this is a guy who loves throwing a lot of pitches. The Yankees go on to lose that game. The Yankees aren't going to win that game. You don't have that comeback. You only get 1 inning to get a crack at that bullpen. And the back end of the Blue Jays bullpen is pretty good. So Cabrera gives you a different look. He lets you have that righty-lefty matchup always because he's a switch hitter. The defensive skills are there. He's played good defense at the AAA level. I talked extensively about how he's graded out very well defensively, and he's already got 2 defensive runs saved at the Major League level. He hasn't even played 5 games yet. I think this was his 5th game. This was his 5th game. So do I want to see better offense? Of course I do. I think, everyone can sit back and say that, it's hard for a rookie to adjust, and I agree with that. But, defensively, he's giving me what I need, and I think offensively he'll turn it around. So right now I think Cabrera is a great option to play shortstop. And, knowing September's rolling around, you might get an option to bring up a guy like Peraza with the extra roster spot. I feel pretty good with what I have at shortstop to have Cabrera out there.
Yeah, especially as an outfield supplement, Aaron Hicks looks lost, bro. Oh my God. The guy is just so washed. I wouldn't even take him to the laundromat at this point. He's so freaking clean. It's a really bad situation the Yankees have in terms of just their depth in the outfield right now is not great, except for Cabrera defensively. He has that availability. Hicks isn't an awful defender. He's probably about average. But Cabrera looks great in right field. He's shown some pretty good versatility. Third base, he's not the best. He had some hiccups. But shortstop, he looks like the best shortstop on this team. IKF has struggled this year to a degree. He has decent range, decent athleticism, not the best arm in the world. He short hops a lot of throws. But that one play from Cabrera today where he looked like Jeter going off his back foot, threw it across the diamond, one hop to, good thing you have Rizzo there. He was a pro at scooping those things out of the dirt, but it was a nice height for him. It bounced right to his chest essentially. So really nice play there from Cabrera. I love his defensive qualities. He has been an upgrade by most accounts, the past couple of days here. And he provides a spark, man, just like the energy. It's the intangibles that also stand out to me instead of like just the tangible traits. Like, okay, it's a good fielder. He's got a decent bat. He can do some stuff there, but he's an energetic young kid. Like he's 21 years old, right? He's really young. He's coming here. He wants to play well. He's riling up the troops. He's making big plays defensively, and his teammates appreciate that, all that effort and energy. When he starts hitting consistently, he's going to be an asset. And at the very least, if you're Brian Cashman, and you keep playing Cabrera right now, his value, especially if you're looking to like maybe maximize a trade in the winter for a big player, for a big guy, if you're thinking like, Cabrera could be involved in that conversation, the reps he's getting right now is showcasing he's a very good player defensively. At the very least, everybody knows it takes guys some weeks. I mean, even like you look at Adley Rutschman, he started really slow and now he's absolutely killing it. Again, different level of prospect than Cabrera, but when you have a guy coming from AAA, he's batting well, but it takes a couple weeks, even months sometimes, to really get the hang of MLB pitching, especially against guys like Alek Manoah. Some really good pitches he's faced over the past few days. Now he's going to have to face DeGrom and Scherzer if they do play him, which will be definitely a big challenge for him. But if he could tally a couple of hits, that would be really, really nice and encouraging. And his value is just skyrocketing right now. Do you think that maybe that's something that Cashman's thinking, let's get him more reps. He's looking good defensively. This is a guy whose value is boosted, and maybe we try to flip him in the winter for like a big name, and he's like a key and marquee player that other teams want based on the sample size that they're seeing right now.
Yeah, so we know that at the deadline, the Yankees were looking to get a guy like Pablo Lopez, and they were very close to completing the deal. Some of the names you heard were like Peraza. I know Glaber was floated around as a guy that teams were interested in. Not sure if the Yankees were looking to trade him or if he was in that package the Yankees offered. But what we do know is that the Yankees were willing to give up one of their middle infielders at this deadline. It tells me that they are going to shop one of these two middle infielders. You look at how Volpe was a double away from the cycle today. Has, I believe, almost 50 stolen bases at double A. He's going to get the call up pretty soon. Peraza is having still a strong season at AAA. I look at Cabrera and, I do think there's trade value there, but at the same time, I mean, the skills he provides the UTL guy, could you imagine if he gives you league average offense with this defense? And we know he's a fast guy. I mean, this is your utility guy. This is a guy who's going to be playing every day at every position you could possibly imagine besides like center field, first base, and catcher for the next 6 years, right? Even if that's not valuable to the Yankees. I mean, look at a team that I look at a player like Chris Taylor for the Dodgers, right? That's a guy who, he parlayed his value into getting a pretty good deal from the Dodgers. And he's been a valuable, almost an integral part of that team. The Dodgers have kind of built their foundation on that level of versatility. I think the Yankees are looking to build a foundation of versatile athletes with the young players. I mean, look at the guys who are coming up: Volpe, Peraza, Cabrera, Wells even. These are not guys who are slow. These are not, 30th percentile sprint speeds, 20th percentile sprint speeds. The guys who are, slow dribbler are going to get thrown out. These are athletes, right? And I'm not calling the guys at the major league level not athletes. Everyone who plays Major League Baseball is an athlete, but I'm saying it more like athletic compared to the rest of their peers is the better term to use or better phrase to use there. Cabrera is a guy who's going to have out of the trade market. Not sure they'll trade him. Not sure I would trade him if I don't get a very strong piece back because the Yankees farm also is a little bit beat up from this deadline. So, they could always go to the free agent market and show off their financial strength because, again, the Yankees have a lot of money coming off the books. I think they'll trade a guy like Hicks. I mean, Hicks, he went 3 straight days without playing. I mean, this isn't like the Yankees are benching him every other day. Every day he needs rest. They're sitting him. He's not starting. The Yankees are going to move him, and I'm not saying that Hicks is going to be hard to move either. Maybe you partner up Cabrera and Hicks in a deal and you get something back. But ultimately, I mean, I think Cabrera just has this level, like you said, the intangibles, the excitement, the energy that you need that for your team. So I don't know if they're going to trade him. I don't want to fall in love with a prospect and say I don't want to trade them, but if you ask me right now, will I think the Yankees trade him or do I think the Yankees should trade him? My answer right now probably leans more to no.
Yeah, like you said, man, I mean, he is an extremely valuable player if he gets to even a league average offensively. He has underrated power. He had 7 homers in the month of July for Scranton. So we know that he can go on a hot streak and hit homers against, lesser opponents like the Oakland Athletics. I would love to see him maybe collect his first homer as a as a rookie here. So maybe that's something he can accomplish in the coming days. But like you said, the utility value that he holds, if DJ LeMahieu is injured, and maybe the Yankees try to trade Gleyber Torres, if those rumors were in fact true, and you see, Cabrera go slot in at second base every day. Maybe you see DJ play second base and Cabrera at shortstop. And then IKF moves over to third base next year if they retain him. And then you have the Josh Donaldson situation, who, of course, the rumors were that they were trying to offload Hicks and Donaldson's big contracts. But like, you really need a bigger package deal, and teams just take on that money to push it over the hump. Like, there's got to be something bigger going on there. No one's going to want those two guys at their price point right now. But like you said, Cabrera can offer so much value. You can't really put a price tag on a guy that can play multiple positions with above average defense, and he can fill a multitude of roles, especially in the outfield. That's a huge benefit that LeMahieu doesn't offer. He does not play outfield, but if you needed some support in right field or in center or left, you could just throw Oswaldo Cabrera out there and let him rock. Which I think is extremely valuable. So it'll be interesting to see how the Yankees kind of approach him moving forward, where he plays. I think that IKF is definitely destined for a lesser role in the coming days here. I think they desperately want to see that, Cabrera can offer more offensive capabilities. I think IKF only has 2 hits in his last 6 games. And, you look at Cabrera, he has 3 hits in his last 5. So there obviously is a little bit more value there. And hopefully he can continue to, improve upon that, see pitches better, extra base hits, maybe showcase some power and get a couple homers to close out the year. And I think that's all the Yankees are looking for, because defensively he offers more value than IKF. And we saw that range and athleticism and arm strength today. And that youth energy. I think that, IKF's got to be really good every time he has an opportunity to play. He's got to be very good. Otherwise he's going to lose more reps. But I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, narratives below in the YouTube comments, my friends. Definitely an interesting conversation to have. We could be wrong here in that he might be taking some reps away from IKF, but I'd love to hear your perspectives as always. Very much a young, energetic player who's offering some very good defense for us lately. So that is definitely a major positive. I hope you guys enjoyed this win today and the rest of your weekend. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.